Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So before I start with my testimony, I just want to say a few things. So number one, I'm not making this video in order to deceive people. So the experiences I'm about to say are very real, but it's going to be up to you whether or not you want to believe it. When I was younger, I was raised by Christian parents, just like a lot of American kids. So I went to Sunday school, just like a lot of American kids, and I went there once a week ever since I was a kid, up until I was a teenager. So to be quite frank, I really didn't enjoy it because it felt like I was being forced by my parents, and also I didn't really have a tangible relationship with Jesus. So when I was a kid, up until I was a teenager, up until I was the age of 27, I used to believe like Christianity was pretty much like a fairy tale, just like a lot of people. Instead of attending church every Sunday, I slowly became a Creaster. I think it's a pretty funny term, but a lot of people that claim they're Christian, pretty much some of them become Creasters. So a Creaster is someone that goes to church every Christmas and Easter. And I did this because I just wanted to please my mom. So when I started to go to college, I started questioning Christianity a lot more. And I stopped going to church because I just didn't want to lie to myself. I didn't really believe in Christianity. So I thought it was like pretty funny to go to church and act like you believe in it when honestly at that time I didn't. So I didn't believe Christianity was true, and I just did not want to pretty much follow the religion blindly. So it wasn't because I was trying to be hard-headed, but I just didn't want to follow something just for the sake of following it, but deep down inside I did not believe in it before. So a lot of people, looking at you, you may have a similar experience as I did growing up. So ever since I was a child up until the age of 27, I would consider myself before agnostic. Like I believed there was only one God, right? But I did not know who that one God is. So as I grew older, I kept reaffirming that Christianity is false because it's not answering all of these big picture questions that I had before. So some of these questions are, so there's over thousands of religions, right? How can you actually pinpoint it to Christianity? So that was one of my big questions before. So what about our friendly neighborhood aliens, right? What about those guys and other possible forms of life? So we haven't even explored like 1% of our universe, so I thought it was like a good assumption to make, like, okay, well, if there's aliens that exist outside of our galaxy, right, they wouldn't necessarily believe in Christianity. So that was one of the arguments I had. What about dinosaurs and monkeys becoming men, right? You know, school's teaching this type of stuff. So I was so set in my beliefs before that I would believe nothing would really bring me back to Christianity, right? I was just that stuck in my ways before, or so I thought. So my conversion to Christianity wasn't some nice sounding sprinkled words and then hocus pocus, I'm a Christian. No, that's not how it worked. So another thing was I was not, I'm just saying this right now, I was not strapped to any chair and being forced to watch the Passion of the Christ until I converted to being a Christian. So I'm making these points because you can't really force someone to become a Christian. They have to be willing to become a Christian and pretty much to admit that, hey God, I have a lot of questions. This just doesn't make any sense to me. So over time I became more willing to the notion that, okay, maybe I might be wrong and I might be missing something completely that Christianity has. So God has made us with free will. He does not want anyone to pretty much love him out of force, right? Because if you love someone out of force, then that's not really love, right? So pretty much you can choose to have a life of debauchery. I mean, I was pretty much doing that. And God's not going to stop you from pursuing that life because you have that free will. So when you have a partner, you should be willingly being with them, right? Out of love, because you want to be with them. You want to build up that relationship. So hopefully you're not being with your spouse because you feel forced to be with your spouse. So before I was converted to Christianity, I was more of like a Hakuna Matata type of agnostic person. So I believed before that you should just believe in whatever you want to, just as long as you're not being, you don't hurt anyone. Pretty much like I would say a lot of the world is like that right now. So before I was a Christian, I used to believe in relative truth, which pretty much said, just believe in whatever makes you happy. Like if you want to worship a helicopter, then by all means, if that is your calling, go and do that. So the thing with relative truth is it doesn't always work, especially with God. So if I was to give you an analogy, I would say it's kind of like going to a grocery store, right? And then you're trying to pay with oranges as your mode of payment. So you're telling the cashier, I value these oranges more than money, right? So you should accept my form of payment because this is my truth. So as you can see, this obviously doesn't work. You have to pay with actual money, So if we have to be objective about our truth when we're even doing transactions and when we were following, laws, then what more would we have to be objective when we're searching for God? So as I was saying, my conversion wasn't, it wasn't some nice sounding words someone just said to me. It wasn't like some kumbaya moment when I was listening to like Hillsong music. A lot of their music is pretty good, I would admit. But I didn't convert because of their music. So those approaches, because of the way that I was so stuck in my ways before, those approaches wouldn't have worked for me. So if I was to pretty much disown everything I ever believed in, and I was going to convert to Christianity, it had to be something truly impactful, right? Like I said, words didn't really work on me. Having like some emotional music wouldn't have worked for me. So because my ideals were so set in the ways that it was, right? Like I didn't want to just follow something just for the sake of following something. So if nice sounding words, growing up in the church, attending the Sunday church services, and music did not convert me in order to really change my view on who God truly is, then it had to be very impactful. And it had to be a supernatural event. That was the only way that I personally could have been converted. So surely enough, that's exactly what happens in my case. And I will go more on this topic in my next video. But I just wanted to say, me and my dad, we created a website so you guys can pretty much have free bookmarks. All you would have to do is pretty much print the bookmarks off of the website and then laminate it and then just cut it out. And those bookmarks you can print as much as you want to. I'll leave the link to that website down below. Alright, God bless.